welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Happy Wednesday. Thanks again for coming and joining me for the podcast. I hope that your day has been going well, and I hope that your week has been going well as well. You know, we're kind of in the middle, hump day, which is great. I think I've told you before, though, I think my favorite days in the week are Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Because I feel like Thursday you've gotten over that actual middle part of the week, but you know, you're not completely at the end, so there's still an opportunity to make up for anything that you need to do before the week ends. I don't know. It doesn't seem very logical, but it is what I enjoy. So again, happy Wednesday. Just a reminder that this week's theme is uncertainty, and it's such an important topic to talk about because uncertainty and the unknown is so hard for a lot of people to deal with, myself included, and I feel like it's a very important topic to talk about, to really discuss, and just give you some encouragement and motivation about it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Today we're going to talk about uncertainty in regards to insecurity, and I think that in the future, I would love to do a whole week talking about insecurities. I struggle with insecurities day in and day out. It's so difficult to get past the insecurities because they're just generally things that you're telling yourself, you know, that you think that people are thinking. Anyway, let me know if you think that would be a good idea to talk about that for a whole week, as that to be the theme of the week. So anyway, today, Wednesday, uncertainty in regards to insecurity. Insecurity is defined as the uncertainty of how we feel about ourselves and not believing we can do or be who we desire to be. That's the way that I think about it. You're welcome to think about it any way you want, but that's just the way that I think about it. And if you give power to your own thoughts of insecurity, it's no surprise that it can take over your mind and life. You know, like I was saying, insecurity, a lot of it has to do with what you're telling yourself and what the words that are going on in your mind. And I feel like a lot of it's about mindset and how you encourage yourself and how you take care of yourself, especially your mental health, because if you don't, you're just really, because if anyone else is mentally attacking you from the outside, then you're not really doing yourself any favors if you're just letting all that in and then continuing to drown yourself in those negative thoughts, just like someone else in your life might be. When feeling insecure, it is important to think about what threat you are perceiving. You know, is it a threat of feeling left out or casted out? Are you feeling less than? Was it based on reading into what someone has said to you or about you to someone else? Do you know what I mean? You know, it's important to figure out, you feel super insecure. What is the threat? Like I said, do you feel like you're being left out? Do you feel like the actions of others are causing you to feel left out, or like you're casted out because they don't like who you are or what you're about? I get that. Been there, totally. I actually went out of my way a lot in high school to prevent that because I didn't want to be casted out because my family life was so terrible up and down. Or are you just feeling less than in general because of your financial state, or for me, a lot of times I felt less than in college because I didn't necessarily know as much as other people knew about certain subjects because I just never spent any time learning about it, or I was smart and I was in honors classes, but I didn't, deep dive into certain topics. And, weird fun fact about me, when I was growing up in Alaska, they literally did not teach us the 50 states and the capitals. I promise you, I'm not making this up. They didn't teach us. So it's always a struggle for me when people are like, oh, you know the capital of that state? Absolutely I don't. So, you're feeling less than, or the one that really gets me is your insecurity based on reading into what someone said to you or what you were told someone said about you to someone else. And I specifically want to say, are you reading into it? Because a lot of times people will say something, they'll be like, oh my gosh, oh, you decided to wear that. And so you flip the tone in your mind. You go into mind reading, which I've talked about on a previous episode of the podcast, where you just think you know what they're thinking. expand on that in your mind. You're like, oh, they must be thinking all these 10 things about me. They must have this opinion about me. They must be telling everyone else all these negative things about you. It just absolutely spirals out of control for I wouldn't say no reason, but it just gets out of control because you let it get out of control because you think so low of yourself that you read into those things because you don't want to just take the time to ask them how they actually feel. Or a lot of people just aren't here for confrontation. I kind of am. I try to do it in a really nice way, but confrontation can be really hard for people, so they don't necessarily want to ask people why they said that or what was behind that. So you read into it, you spin it in your mind, and it just makes you go crazy. It's not good for your mental health. Let me just put that there. Regardless of what is causing the mindset, it is your responsibility to have the right mindset. Only you can control your mind. I've talked about that in a previous episode. Only you can control your mind. You might think that they're controlling what you're thinking because of what they're saying and the things that are coming from an outside source, but only you control your mind. You have to choose the mindset you're going to be in, despite what may be coming at you. Sometimes it's super hard. It may be harder for others, but that's why you have to really focus on your mindset and what you're actually going to let in and what you're going to tell yourself and how are you going to live your life in that regard. If there is a belief that is causing you to not have self-acceptance, this is something to think about and process. Absolutely. If there's something that you believe about yourself that you may have gotten from an outside source or someone has told you directly, this is how they feel about you, so you don't accept who you are, you really need to take some time and process that and talk about it with someone. That actually would really help. I suggest talking to a counselor or someone that you really trust to really go through that. The things that influence you the most are the thoughts you have about yourself, regardless of the outside noise. And outside noise is those people that are speaking to you about you, or they may be telling you rumors that people have said about you, or anything else, maybe magazine covers that you see of people if you feel like you're overweight, or you are on Instagram and you see people that have all the money in the world, or you think they do, to buy all the nice things, just that kind of stuff, all that outside noise. You really need to be in control of your thoughts and your mindset, and not let all that outside junk influence you. It's important to offer yourself self-love and care, as it's important to only rely on yourself for this type of thing. It's never healthy to rely on someone else to assess your emotions and fix your feelings. Absolutely not. No one else is responsible for anyone else's mental state or their feelings. It's nice when people come along and try to help and partner with you and help be support for you, but they are not responsible for it. And you cannot expect someone else to do that for you. You have to take the initiative and help yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, reach out for help if you need help, but you can't expect someone else to do it for you just because you may look like you're like, look, can't you tell I'm a hot mess? Come do this for me. No, ask for help and help yourself. Remember, it's never helpful to blame others for your insecurities either. We all have to make our own path, decisions, and use our mental strength to move forward despite what is coming at us. I think I've said it so many times, especially even in this episode today. You are responsible for your mindset, despite what people are saying to you, despite what you may think you hear, despite what you may be reading into, despite any mind reading that you were doing of what other people are thinking about you. It doesn't matter. Absolutely doesn't matter. You need to create your own path, make your own decisions, set your own mindset, use your mental strength to move forward despite what's happening, and enlist help if you absolutely need it. And we all need a little bit of help. It doesn't even, you don't need to be having a mental breakdown to go to counseling. I go to counseling every 2 weeks, and I'm not having a mental breakdown every day. I'm not. It's so helpful. It actually just helps me to keep on course, keep on task if I go. So, do your part, help yourself, set your mindset, strengthen your mind, care for yourself, love yourself, enlist help when you need it. Don't expect other people to just jump in and do what you're supposed to be doing for yourself, and continue to move forward in your life despite who is coming at you. So thanks again for joining me for the Real Positive Girl podcast. Happy Wednesday. I hope I see you guys for tomorrow's podcast, Thursday, one of my favorite days. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.